Welcome back. So today we'll learn about how we can unpack an argument or a keyword argument. So let's get started. So in Python, we have star args and star kwargs. Star args, we use this to unpack an argument, and star kwargs, we use this to unpack a keyword argument. So let's say we have a function. Let's say we can define a function. Let's say adder. We'll say x, y, right? And what it will do, it will say print, we'll say sum, and we'll say x plus y plus z. And now if I call this adder function, let me call this adder function, and let me pass 10, 11, and 12. So if I run this code, you see we get sum is 33. So if you don't know about functions, please revisit the previous sections about functions so that you'll be able to understand what arguments are, what keyword arguments are, okay? Here, we have a function called adder. It accepts 3 arguments, let's say x, y, z, and we're calling this function adder by passing 3 arguments. But if you see the name of this function, it says adder, right? Someone who's calling this function, he or she might not know like how many arguments it accepts, okay? So let's say if I pass here 3 arguments, what happens in that case? So let me run this code again. So in that case, we get this type error. So error takes 3 positional argument, but 4 were given. So how can we make sure that even if we pass many arguments or when the number of arguments is not known, how can we handle all those? In Python, we can pass a variable number of arguments to a function using a special symbol. Those are star args and star kwargs. So first, let's learn about Python star args. Okay. So as you can see in this function, we don't know the number of arguments we are receiving, right? So in order to fix that, what can I do is, let's say instead of this, I can say star and I can say num. So before going ahead, let's just go and print num. And let's run this code. So you see, whatever argument which we gave here, so it goes and we receive as an argument here. So the type of argument which we received is a tuple now. So if you don't believe me, let's try type and let's say type of num and let's run this code. And you see, it's like it's of tuple type, right? So that means if I use this star, so this is called unpacking arguments or unpacking non-keyword arguments, because we can have multiple arguments, right? So let's say I have one keyword argument here. Let's say name equal to Pratap. From this 10 to 13, it's a non-keyword argument, but this is a keyword argument, right? So if I go and run this, you'll see it says type error, adder got an unexpected keyword argument name, right? So now if I want to handle that, I can say star ABC, for example. So let me print that again so that you'll get the gist of that. So you see, as we all know, we can call a function by passing non-keyword argument or a keyword argument, right? So these are non-keyword argument because we don't have any keyword, but here we have a keyword argument, which is name equal to Pratap. So this name is a keyword, right? So whenever we pass a non-keyword argument, so those things goes into this star nums, and the type of that star num is a tuple. But on the other hand, if we have a keyword argument, so in that case, when we receive an argument here, when we receive this value, so the type of this value is a dictionary. Don't believe me, right? Let's add another thing, age equal to 25. So now let's print the input which we got. And let's run this code again. And you see the non-keyword argument, we receive this as a tuple. So you can see here, so this is a tuple. And the keyword argument which we passed in this function, we received as a dictionary, right? Now let's go to the point again. Let's remove all this. First, let's learn how the star num works. Okay. So let me remove all this code. Now, since I don't know the number of arguments that a caller would send, so I say star num. Or more generic way in Python is args. These are arguments, right? Non-keyword arguments. So let's say here, let's try to find the sum. Sum equal to 0. And let's say for num in args. For num in args, sum equal to sum plus num. And let's print the sum. Okay, so let's run this code. So we get 46. So now I can call this function with any number of arguments I want. Like let's say I want to call with just with single argument. I want to call it with multiple arguments. So let me run this code. So you see, so now this way my function, this error function is more generic now, right? So it can accept any number of arguments. It can accept a single argument. It can accept multiple arguments. Now my error function is more generic, right? So now as we have learned about this star args, you should always remember what is star args. It's unpacking arguments. It is only for those arguments which doesn't have keyword, right? So now let's learn about this star kwargs unpacking a keyword argument. So as I have told you earlier, like even though I'm passing, like if I say star kwargs, so even though I'm passing multiple arguments here, nothing will go into this kwargs like keyword arguments, right? So for now, let's just leave it like this. Let me define another function. Let's say define introduction. And for now, I'll not do anything. So let me call this introduction function. Now, when I want to call this introduction function, I would like to say name equal to Pratap, and then I'll say age equal to 25, and I'll say address equal to Nepal. Okay, and also let me pass one more argument here. Let's say let me pass 10 just to demonstrate the difference between the arguments and the keyword arguments. So here I define the function introduction. So here let me accept args and let me accept kwargs, and let me print those both. Let me print args and let me print kwargs. Okay, so let me run this code. So you see, for now let me just comment this part because the more thing we got in the console is a bit more confusing. So here if you can see args, like I passed 10 here in the argument as a non-keyword argument, so that goes into this tuple. Okay, and whatever named argument or named like keyword argument which I'm passing to the function, so that's all those things are getting to this kwargs or a keyword arguments, right? I hope you get a gist of the star args and star kwargs. So let me remove this and let's write a function to greet this one, right? Let's say, as I've already demonstrated in earlier, the data type of our kwargs is dictionary. So let me just add here print data type of star args is, let's say, type args. So let me copy this and let me just edit here also. Data type of star kwargs is kwargs. Correct? So now let's use our for loop and let's loop through the dictionary because we know how to loop through a dictionary. For, we'll say key value in, and let's say kwargs dot items. Since our kwargs is a dictionary, we can say items, right? Let's say print this. So it's very simple. Let's say key is, let's say value, right? So now let's run this code and let's see what we get in the output. Oh, since I removed the argument part, so I think I should remove this part because it gives me an error because it takes 0% argument, but I was giving 1. Okay, so let me run this code. So now you see the data type of this star kwargs is class of type dictionary type. So it is of type dictionary. So name is Pratap, age is 25, address is Nepal. Very simple, right? So now I can reuse this function, more generic term. So now I can say Madhav and he's of age 30 and he's from, let's say, somewhere from Bangladesh. And let's run this code. So you see, name is Madhav, age is 30, address is Bangladesh. Okay, so let me run this code again just to see the type of the input which you're getting. So you see here, so the type of star args is of type tuple. So I hope I'm able to make you understand. So what exactly star args or star kwargs is, how we can unpack an argument or how we can unpack a keyword argument. So this way we can make, like this way we have made our function more generic. So we can pass any number of arguments. By using this also we have made our function more generic. We can pass any number of arguments. Okay. So now let's learn about what we should remember while using these arguments or keywords. So star args and star keywords are special keyword which allows function to take variable length argument, right? So this way we have made our function more generic, and star args passes variable number of non-keyword arguments and on which operation of the tuple can be performed, right? We all know that now. We all know that when we pass a non-keyword argument, so this changes to a type of tuple. So when we pass as keyword argument, then it goes and changes into a type of dictionary. And star args and star kwargs makes the function flexible. So now we can pass any number of arguments, any number of keyword arguments, right? So far we have learned about the star args, we have learned about the star kwargs. So star args is called unpacking argument, and star kwargs is called an unpacking keyword argument. So we have learned how to use the star args. So how we unpack the argument, non-keyword argument. So we learn also the type of the arg. We have learned how to make the function more generic. We also learned how we can use this kwargs. We made this function more generic, and we all know that the type of kwargs is a type of dictionary. And we also learn about what we should remember for this star kwargs and star args, right? So this is it from this session. Hope to see you in future session again. Bye bye.